All right, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. For those of you that decided to join us, I normally don't do live stream Saturday nights. I pretty much never do. But I had a request to do a live stream, so I figured let's make this a thing with Hudson Valley and NY Prepper should he show up. Um, Other than that, guys, we're going to talk about what's been going on with this whole mystery objects that were shot down. So one was shot down yesterday. Another one was shot down today. That makes two. Thank you for the 5x5, guys. So interestingly enough, guys, I'm looking like I'm not buying it, but it also feels strange. Mike or Lou, you guys give your opinion on this.
Bro, it's weird. Weird. It's like a 10 on my weird shit-o-meter because, they've shot down balloons and they're like, hey, we shot down a surveillance balloon. Why the cryptic object? They're not saying it was a balloon. They're not saying it was an aircraft. They are saying it was an aircraft, but they're not saying it was a jet or a helicopter or anything like that.
No.
Just really freaking weird.
They're being like suspiciously vague. Like we're like, come on, like what are you hiding? Like instead of like being transparent, like they're just like using euphemistic words and phrases like a swamp gas off of Venus vibe,
Yeah.
And you're like, come on, man, like what was that thing? You just expended extreme military resources to finally shoot something, and what was it then?
Right. And that's the thing. It's the vagueness that's getting me. I mean, you're right. You said they shot down a balloon. They were like, we shot down this Chinese balloon. But now they're like, well, we can't tell you what it was. So they know what it was. And if they keep it classified, that means, right. Listen, first of all, they could have lied to us and told us they don't know. They could have lied to us and not said anything about this.
Gotcha. They could have never mentioned it. Nobody knows. It's not like I got NORAD radar on the roof of my house.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. So it's just, I think it's just very odd. I also, there's one side of me that thinks this is just another distraction, just because of what happened with Biden a day or two ago, with them finding more files in his Boston office, law office in Boston. Sorry. And I'm like, all right, the timing of that is a little suspicious as well. Then all of a sudden we got two objects. The other side of that coin, which I'm starting to think, not starting to think, but also thought, was that maybe this is to make him look tough. Maybe this is to make him look decisive and assertive, because they're like, all right, because you notice in the articles, they kept saying, and they mentioned multiple times, how Biden made the decision to shoot him down. That's the first thing they keep saying. So I'm like, if they keep saying that, they're trying to make him look like a tough guy. And he really is, right?
He comes through in the clutch and make the hard decisions, And Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau are like on a scale of like soft to hard, like could not be more soft. And yet, like you said, here they are like coming across trying to look like, decisive leaders or do something. Now, maybe it's like a change in attitude for the better. More likely, if I know politics at all, it's just a big show, like another act in the play, so to speak.
Absolutely.
No, yeah, Absolutely. And that's the one thing I'm thinking about. But again, there's something that reeks UFO. Like that. That's the other side. So I mean, granted, at this point, I'm gonna say I'm about 50% sure that this is a distraction and they're just fucking trying to keep our eye off whatever else is going on. But 25% is telling me that it might be UFO, and the other 25% is saying this is staged to make these two, like you said, soft politicians look hard.
Like the hard guys.
Right.
Chat is lighting up saying all kinds of breaking news in Montana right now. I'm searching and I'm not finding. Livingston, man, can you take a peek and see?
You're right on the top stories, like right here. I mean, let's refresh, baby. But
yeah,
I did see that too. I thought that was. Oh yeah, Barnes Wood Bowl said object over Montana right now.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Part of Montana airspace has been closed down due to a grouping of unidentified flying objects in the military. Of F-15s were scrambled. I guess it's F-15s.
maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is when the aliens show up and show us who's fucking boss, bro. Maybe maybe this is it. Maybe they've had enough of our
Or
shit.
it's like I said, it's like Operation ET. You know what I mean? Where it's like a training exercise, like War of the Worlds. Like Space Force again, proving its worth. Like
Yeah. You know what? I always had a theory. This is with UFOs. Whenever you see a UFO, they're like the U.S. government. If you're looking at
Mhm.
the UFO, they're doing some shit. UFOs are doing something somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I always had that theory because there was I don't know if it was from a movie, but I looked it up, and it happened somewhere else. People were looking at UFOs and they were gawking at it. That same day, I think 5 people went missing. That very same night, actually. Sorry. So I was like,
That's
oh,
wild.
they use it as a distraction. Um, but that's what that's how I look at it sometimes. They said airspace was closed in Montana. Montana,
Huh.
old news. And yeah, I'm getting
Yeah.
mixed.
Yeah, no, I definitely know that they took one out over Canada tonight.
Right,
I know they took one out over Alaska yesterday. I
right.
know that Russia took something down in January. They shot something down over there that they deemed as a metal object, just kind of similar to the way they described everything that went on today. Um, but yeah, they say that they shot something down. What was it? January 20th or something like
about
that.
a month ago. Not
Yeah,
only that, but we looked back through the history of this whole like story, and we found that they started to what do they call it, like pre-program like the idea in your head. Like they started like all of a sudden like stuff about UFOs started to pop up, and that culminating in now what like media could feasibly present as like a UFO invasion sort of thing. Like,
yeah,
but it's almost as if like they were prepping everybody like for the eventuality of it. Like when you look back through it, they like would tease a thing here and there, like there was a UFO. They released a bunch of documents, so on and so forth. And then next thing you know, like now they're shooting, they're blasting things, 7 incidents. Like all of a
yeah.
sudden, in 7 days, the F-22 racked up 3 kills. But
It's pretty cool.
as our research indicated, the F-22 has only been in service since like 2005.
Yeah,
So in that time period, the F-22 has killed everything it ever has in the last week. It makes me think it's a ploy by like the politics and control of that big money program to justify its very existence.
Okay, now that makes a lot of sense. Greg, man, thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
no problem.
Listen, so we were in the middle of discussing what we think it is. Uh, I'd like to hear from you.
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm kind of on the fence. It's either it could be like China or Russia testing some kind of new stealth technology. Because I don't know if you guys heard yet, but they said that the one that was shot down in Alaska, they weren't able to detect it until it actually entered our airspace. So our early warning radars, which are supposed to pick up these kind of things, failed. They didn't pick it up until it got really close into our airspace. So that's kind of concerning. So it could be maybe China and Russia testing some kind of new technology, and they want to see if they can defeat our radars, or it could be an alien. I mean, who knows? They said that this thing was the one that they shot down today was the same as the one they shot down in Alaska. It was a cylindrical shaped object. It didn't have any visible, like intelligence gathering equipment. There weren't any like visible thermal pods or anything, or any kind of radar dishes. It was just like a cylindrical object. And what's weird is that they said when they shot it and when it hit the ground, it broke apart like into pieces like glass. So that's really strange. That's not a balloon. Balloons don't do that.
No.
So I don't know. It's weird.
Well, and then Mama of Six, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. And that's the thing. The problem right now is that the internet is running rampant with what it could be and what it might be. And that's my only issue because right now they're like there's an object over Montana. Montana airspace is closed, and somebody said no, it isn't. Then Mike, you sent us a couple of text message screenshots right?
Yep.
What was said in that screenshot? Aliens are super dangerous.
Let's see. The one said that the pilots that approached this thing, they, where is it, Louis? Oh, okay. Just a second. No, next one. Next. Oh, back the other way. Here we go. There we go. Some of the pilots that interacted with the object previously shot down over Alaska yesterday said that it interfered with their sensors, and some pilots also claimed to have seen no identifiable propulsion systems on the object and couldn't explain how it was still in the air. And I thought that was the most interesting part of all of this, is that, it was literally the cigar shaped object that everybody talks about seeing in the skies. Everybody says that's the new UFO, is the cigar shaped objects.
Well, maybe they updated their shit. Who knows?
Well,
Right.
the reason here is that they don't know what they were shooting at. Like the F-22 is one of the, if not one of the most advanced fighter aircraft in the history of the world. The camera-mounted systems, not only on the missiles it fired, but the aircraft itself, the evidence is there as to what this thing fired at and what all these different sensor systems saw. For them to tell us to our face that, oh, we're not really sure what it was, is a bald-faced fiction. The technological evidence is there.
Yeah.
They can show me a drone strike from a cave in Afghanistan. They can show me what they fired those missiles at.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, again, the general, one of the brigadier generals, said that he's not allowed to discuss what was shot down. So, I mean, like, clearly they know, but they're not going to tell us, right? I mean, oh shit, look at that, we shot a balloon down. Everybody's like, yay, and you had like people who were haranguing and carrying on. I'm like, dude, it was a fucking balloon that completed its mission.
Yeah.
And the thing is what worries me is that if this is, and this hypothetically speaking, if this is UFO and they're being shot down this easy by an F-22, I mean, then the aliens that we thought were going to come and introduce themselves to higher technology and higher beings, this isn't it. Because what's his name? The guy in the wheelchair.
Stephen Hawkins.
Thank you. Right. Stephen Hawkins was terrified of an alien attack because of what he was theorizing, and I guess there are things he knew that we will probably never know, and he was terrified. And I'm wondering if this is it. Now, here's something else interesting. Christopher, thank you for the donation. There was a lady, the lady in Russia. I think some of you guys know her. She was blind. She was born blind. She was clairvoyant, and she could see into the future. And she did say that we would have an alien attack by 2022 or 2023. She was off about a year if this is it. So I find it interesting that this lady, who's been dead since 1996, had said this back then, that we would see an alien attack of some kind.
Well, remember Reagan? Reagan was like paranoid about aliens. If you ever read about him, that was like one of his big things. That's why he got into the whole Star Wars thing with the space-based lasers. And remember that famous quote that he said that, imagine if there was an alien invasion, it would bring humanity together. Like Reagan was like really concerned about that. So it's not just like one clairvoyant person. There's a lot of people, and they corroborate each other,
Right. Oh, and that's the thing. If these people are backing each other up in that aspect, and again, I think Hawkins knew some shit. This lady, again, who's blind and was a poor old little Russian lady in some small shithole town in Russia, predicted this. And you had Reagan, who was paranoid, and you have a bunch of other people who are paranoid. There's got to be some truth to it. But then again, that's just me hypothesizing or theorizing about what this could be. But the fact that people are thinking this and have saw this can be a little concerning.
I think if you're the type that fears globalists or like worried that globalism is a threat, then again, maybe this is like a sort of a 9/11 event that could be real and is being trumped up, or is entirely manifested by media and government together. But either way, like instead of like, your common man being the enemy, the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Colombians, the Americans, whoever. Here we can point to some extraterrestrial threat, like a way to bring everybody together.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. Absolutely. They could use something to this scale to bring about a one world government in a heartbeat, and everybody would beg for it.
And it's funny because I find that interesting you said that, because there is another theory that's floating around on the internet, or conspiracy theory, that Project Bluebeam is
Mm,
going to create
I've
these,
heard it.
right? It's going to create this attack, and
yeah.
it's going to bring humanity together to attack this thing that doesn't exist. So it's interesting you said that about bringing the world together for so that we can all be on the same page for humanity's sake and become this one world order kind of deal. I think that's pretty interesting that you said that. And somebody about Project Bluebeam. Oh, when I did the video on the UFO, the rabbit hole video I did on UFOs, a couple people in the chat in the comment section were talking about Project Bluebeam, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I mean, I guess I can see that, but again, there's a lot of conspiracy theories. There's a lot of rabbit holes we can go down with this.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
the blue beam theory and the spraying of the skies to create the perfect canvas to be able to use these laser systems on to be able to show all this off to the people.
Right.
Um, hey, it's a plausible theory, man. It really is.
and of course, you can't count out the position that would hold that this is a distraction from something else. Look over here while something else happens where you're not looking.
Right. Well, right. There is that too. I mean, listen. Like
Yeah.
I said, we can talk about all this shit tonight because that's what tonight's for. Theorizing, and then people on here, again, putting in Project Bluebeam, Arm Ticket. Yes, Dragon Slayer. Do you guys know about Hawaii?
Oh yeah.
The
I
light
saw
show?
I saw the laser beams in the sky there. That was some wild video, man.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the hell was that about, right? And so that was
Yeah.
the day before yesterday. Then we have two objects that we see, and both get shot down. I'm just waiting for the mothership to come and be like, all right, enough already. We're shooting our shit down. We're gonna fucking we had enough.
Show us
Um,
who's boss.
yeah, they're gonna drop the hammer on us. Listen. Either way, I think this is just all interesting shit that's going on at this moment. I mean, like, a lot of us, all of us, each of our channels said that next year, 2023, now was going to be like a crazy year. We were saying that last year, right? And so
Yep.
far, we're only fucking February. We had Balloon Gate, 2 UFOs, right? We have Biden falling apart at the very seams. The Russian-Ukraine incident keeps spiking. China looks like they want to start whipping our ass. I mean, like, yo, we're just in February.
Yeah, I had none of this on my apocalypse bingo. None of it. Like, killer spy balloon was not on my list, man.
No, definitely not.
Like,
Trio meeting today. Great. So, I don't know, guys. That being said, we're in February. How much? This is a loaded question. How much worse do you think it can get?
we're 6 weeks in. 6 weeks, man. We got aliens, man. 6 weeks, we got aliens.
Yeah.
How much worse he wants to know.
Mega earthquakes,
Maybe they'll-
possible alien invasion.
Maybe they'll open a portal to hell, like in April or so,
Could be. Could be. Greg, what do you think, man? What do you think? Are they going to suck us into another dimension, next month? And, what's it going to be, man?
Damn
Yeah.
CERN project, man. I hate that thing.
Yeah, it's going to be bad, I think. Yeah, it's going to be a bad year. I think it's going to be worse than last year, I think.
Yep. And you know what? Not to mention the shit we're seeing with the eggs, the shit we're going to start seeing with our meat in the next couple months. Financial systems crashing, right? India looks like they're about to have had enough of China's shit. Don't know what the hell they're going to do. But they look like they're reaching their limit. So I'm like all bets are off right now. Like all the shit that, we might have predicted in our videos last year, I think can all go out the fucking window and anything can happen now. I mean, look at Syria and Turkey, right? They had the giant earthquake over there. got their asses
Right.
handed. You know. No, Lou, you were gonna say something?
Well, I was always going to say something. I don't know how to not say something. But I think also, in terms of like science, and we can look at politics and we can like talk to science and we can do stuff. But also, if you're a religious person, it'd
Yeah.
be really difficult for you to not draw parallels between what you're seeing in the world go on right now and like the biblical tribulations and the end times sort of prophecies. Could I get your thoughts on like something like that, Greg?
Well, I mean, if we look at the Bible, we're basically in the end times. So I mean, the Bible says that in the end times you're going to have pestilence. Which we had 2 years ago, one of them at least. And there's all these weird flus and diseases coming out. Then you have the earthquakes. I mean, look at the earthquakes in the last 10 years. You had Japan, Haiti, and now Turkey. And the one about Turkey is interesting because that's right in the Middle East. That's like right in the Holy Land. You know what I mean? For there to be a massive earthquake like that, like I don't know if that's God saying, "Listen, man, I'm pissed off." Like
A
and
lot
then
of
the
these
war.
warning signs are there. Yeah.
You got the war in Ukraine and China about to do something, and just war all over the place. It's like every day it's becoming like normalized. Like even the war in Ukraine it's become like a normalized thing. Like we're living with this situation that's not normal, but because we hear about it every day, oh, another missile hit a city in Ukraine, 50 people died. And it just like rolls off your shoulder like, oh, no big deal, right? But that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like 10 years ago, if we were, if I told someone like 10 years ago, listen, in 2022, Russia's going to do a full invasion of Ukraine, nobody would believe it. They'd be like, that's crazy. That would never happen. And here we are, and it's only going to get worse and worse. So
Yeah, unless the alien attack brings us all together and we start kumbaya,
There
right.
it is.
then it'll all go away. Um, I don't know, man. I mean, the earth. Listen, the earthquake situation I find interesting because what a week ago I was telling Mike about this a video I saw. I'm going to do a shorter version of this video because I found it very very interesting where the poles are shifting, but this one guy theorized. He wrote a book back in 1940 something, the CIA or 1960 something, 1964, and the CIA took his book off the shelves and classified it. So
That's
the
wild.
right, the problem with that was that in the book he talked about a 1 day event, actually 6 day event, where the axis, the north and south, flipped 90 degrees. So now they became the equator, and the equators became the north and south pole. And they said if that does happen in a 6 day period, the crust of the planet will stop moving, right? And the water and the wind would keep moving at 11,000 miles an hour, which is how the speed of the planet's rotation. So if the crust stops moving, but everything else is still moving, what effect does that have, right? 11,000-mile-an-hour winds will rip anything and everything apart, and then waters thousands of feet high would destroy the Earth. So again, that was a theory that this guy had, and the
Mm.
CIA jumped at it. They were like, "Shit, man, that's too scary," and they took the book off the shelves. The book was called "The Story of Adam and Eve" or "The Book of Adam and Eve," something to that
That's
effect.
wild.
You can find the book now, but I'm sorry, you can't find the book now. But they did declassify 60 pages out of 200 and something pages. So I found that to be interesting, especially with these earthquakes we're having. But listen, we have something like that in 1 day, we're fucking all goners, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but
I'm
I
not
just
sure if
It
you guys
feels
are.
like the only thing that would be left would be like pyramids and giant structures like that, right?
you would hope, you would hope we live on a
I read somewhere that if the Earth lasts so long as to when it flies into the sun, finally, the last two man-made things on Earth will be the Hoover Dam and the pyramids. If you're not carving your message in stone or raw concrete, it's gonna go away and be gone.
Well, let me get to it then. Find a piece of rock, start etching it.
Start now.
Yeah, we'll be done with our Mount Rushmore in no time.
Oh
I don't know
man,
if you guys heard about Dwight Eisenhower. Have you heard about the story with him and the aliens?
So I heard rumor that he met, or at least saw the alien bodies in Roswell. Right? Isn't that the running theory?
Well,
This
that's
goes
one
pretty
theory,
far.
but
Like, I heard the version where he met them straight up, like shook hands and made a deal. Like,
yeah. Yeah, apparently his I don't know, is it his great granddaughter or his granddaughter? She's alive right now. She writes books about it. She's well known in the UFO community, but I think it was his great granddaughter or granddaughter. She came out and said, "Yeah, my grandpa made a deal with aliens," and that's like all she talks about now. She talks about it. I mean, she's like a liberal, so opposite of him, but still for her to come out and say that and jeopardize like her whole family's legacy. I mean, she wouldn't do that for no reason, I guess, unless she's desperate for money or something. I don't know, but I don't know.
all right,
there's
guys.
long been
I'm sorry, real quick. I forgot to introduce you guys. So, yeah, that was pretty bad. All right, guys. So to my right, left, right, whatever. The guy in the orange jumpsuit. That's Prepper. All right. The other two guys is Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival and Livingston Man. Now Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival's name is Mike. Livingston Man's name is Lou. So that's just to make it a lot easier. All right. So now that everybody knows who everybody is,
I forgot my
sorry.
name tag. Next
Yeah.
time.
Sorry about that. Salute, brothers. Yeah, Livingston, you were gonna say something before I cut you off. Sorry.
and I completely forgot what it was. So I'm gonna
Just shoot from the hip, man.
defer to Michael.
We all gonna die. We all gonna die. Aliens are coming. We're all gonna die.
Okay, I remember what it was. Now, there's long been legends of a certain regime that was popular in Germany, like in the 40s, making deals with certain extraterrestrial elements and benefiting from their technology. And then, perhaps I'm not alone, but I've often said that America sort of during once we won World War II, we inherited both the communist system and like the Nazi system and kind of wrapped it in red, white, and blue and called it our own little thing.
Okay.
And I think that we ended up with a lot of the connections that evil regime actually had due to like the conditions of the victory. I think us and the Soviets got cut in on like some really cool stuff. I mean, most of our most advanced stuff actually stems from commandeered like technology from that era that when you go back and look at, okay, well then where did they get that from? You start digging, you get these legends and myths of that it wasn't all just science. There was another hand at play in it. And we find ourselves here again where all of a sudden there's weird things flying around in the sky and it's a really strange question as to what in general is just going on in the world today. And like Greg said, we're so complacent to it. It rolls right off your back. You're like, oh wow, they just shot down a UFO. Like we're like, we kind of could care
everyday
less.
Stuff. Everyday stuff.
This is wild, man. What next? Men in Black running around? Like, I mean, where do we go from here?
Shit, I don't know, man. I have fucking no clue. I mean, listen, I'm sort of just like waiting for the fucking other shoe to drop. That's all I'm doing right now. And the other shoe, we don't know what the fuck that is anymore. Stuff, right? It could be fucking a black hole just getting ripped into the earth because
like, okay, whatever.
Right? Because CERN's decided to power up their shit and be like, oh, let's try this again. And they rip the fucking time-space continuum thing, and we start glitching. Who the fuck knows, man? Like,
man,
it's all on the table at this point, all of it. Fucking.
It's funny. It's funny the CERN thing because we had talked about movies over the beginning of the week, right?
Right.
And I ended up watching The Mist the other day. And yeah, they rip you into another space time, and all of a sudden there's like giant insects eating everybody coming out of the mist. Talk about
Nope.
suck, dude.
Ain't doing that.
No, did not have that on my apocalypse bingo either.
It's just really giving me.
Oh, but that thing. Who wrote that? Stephen King, right?
Yeah.
Stephen King wrote The Mist. Listen, when I saw that movie, at the end, that was a fucked up scene.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it away for those that didn't see it, but it was a really good.
See
it. You didn't see it?
I'm in the dark. Nope.
Yeah, nope.
I'm trying to imagine it.
Yeah, don't. You got to watch it.
Right, yeah. Imagine being stuck in a grocery store with a bunch of people losing their minds because it's the end of days. That's like the premise of the movie, you know?
Right.
And then everybody that goes outside gets eaten by aliens. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
I only play video games where, that's happening, but not to you. Duke Nukem, kind of like.
Duke Nukem, nice.
You can always look to him for inspiration. If the alien invasion gets a little too out of control, we can just look to Duke.
Shotgun.
NY Prepper, there's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, don't fucking play. All right, hopefully it'll stay. It says, do you think the earthquakes have something to do with water disappearing from lakes and rivers? Maybe from deep fissures opening under them.
That's interesting. Yeah, that could be. That's very possible. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really researched much of the Turkey earthquake yet, but yeah, that's very possible. I mean, we have a lot of seismic activity going on right now around the world. I mean, just in the last year or two, it's like everything is coming alive. They're saying Mount Hood is coming alive, Yellowstone is coming alive. Like all these dormant volcanoes are starting to rumble now, and so that's interesting.
Well, look what the sun is doing, right? If the planet's acting up, you got to look to the sun. The sun's been acting weird, so scientists have been saying, and they said that a piece of the sun, I don't know if that was plasma itself or the actual sun. They said something broke off from it and started a vortex. Now, I don't like that fucking term, vortex, sun, and space. Those three never go well together, right? But noticing that, we have to look at the planet, right? And we have to look at it and see what's going on. They said that the planet's core stopped spinning and then went in reverse, or it's going to stop spinning and go in reverse. But no one's quite sure if it stopped spinning or not, or went in reverse, right? But again, we got to look at it. Now, if the core stopped spinning, we would be dead probably within inside of a week, right? Yeah. Because of the magnet waves from the iron core that's spinning is keeping a lot of that radiation away from us. It keeps the what is that called? The ozone layer above us, but it also keeps it away from us. So if that was not spinning, we would probably fucking know it. But again, these are theories and shit that they keep throwing out there, but they're really not like following it up with
facts. We need some facts.
They're just dropping it out there. They're like, yo, this is happening, guys. And then that's it. Radio science. You're like, you motherfucker, what this is going to end? We're going to die? What the fuck? Answer me,
Don't leave me on a cliffhanger like that, bro.
Yeah, really.
Angry, since this is your channel, can I take a perhaps controversial line here?
Yep.
You're talking about the sun like spitting out like rays at us and trying to kill us and whatnot. And I think that maybe it's not a coincidence that we stop like sacrificing things to the sun.
That's right.
I mean, all of a sudden we stop like pulling people's hearts out and throwing them down the side of the pyramid.
And now the sun's mad.
And we were like, that really is not cool, man. But then, okay, fast forward 1,000 years and like the sun is like chucking fireballs. I was like, Hadouken, like, and where am I supposed to take this? Like, what am I supposed to think?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Maybe the sun's like pissed off that we're not sacrificing people. There is that. Yeah,
that's right.
Listen, like I said, everything's on the table right now. I mean, a UFO with naked midgets can land and fucking start biting at our knees and shit. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, we'd be like, hey, did you hear about the UFO?
Yeah, right.
It normalized everything. Greg's absolutely right. Absolutely
I could
right.
easily defeat like probably 32 midgets.
32. Listen, I was
I'm gonna-
last night when I was watching The Last of Us, the last night's episode. Man, there was a get some moment in there when it happened. Even I was sitting there like, fucking run. But everybody turned around and started do. I'm like, I'd have been like, yo, fuck this, dude. We're out of here. Like there was no version of that scene where when it went down when I would have been like, guys, stand your ground and fight. I'm like, everybody, get the fuck out of here. Let's turn coward and run. Because it was like there was no version they were gonna beat these things. It was a really fucking good scene. Like I love when zombie movies or movies like shows like that, they have those get some scenes where guys stand their ground, but this was like a poor choice. What you call it? You got to see the episode. That last scene was pretty fucking cool the way it went down.
I only played the video games of The Last of Us, and I'm like, from what I understand, like the show is like a bit different, so like that's going to be an adjustment for me.
Yeah, there is. Listen, I didn't play the game. I followed it on TV and when kids talked about it, but I didn't play it. So when I saw them coming out with the show, I'm like, they're gonna fuck this up because they're gonna get super woke. The third episode wasn't too woke, though. I wish they would have kept the original storyline of the third episode. Right. So the original storyline, the two gay characters wind up hating each other so much. One character does something that's really fucked up and leaves a fucked up letter behind, and the letter was like classic fuck you. You know, it was a classic fuck, and I wish they would have kept that. But other than that, this version they wrote out wasn't bad either. But him being a survivalist and shit like that, that was pretty cool. But if this planet does something weird or we get attacked by aliens, our preps are for nothing. You know,
True.
or we offer them spam and see them and watch them die from it. Because I'm 1,000% sure the aliens
No, I'm not
die.
fiending. I'm not fiending like eating out of my hand. I'm like, come on, you want your spam? Come get your spam. I'm sitting up like little cute little cats, bro.
You're gonna train him.
Eat this shit and die already. Get out of here.
Spam.
Airborne object spotted in Montana. So people are still reporting about Montana. We could
I
throw
think
spam at them.
they reopened the airspace. I think they just reopened it.
In Montana.
Yeah, they had it closed for like an hour, and now I'm checking the map now. They closed. They
Greg's
reopened.
got the flight logs. He knows what's up.
Well,
That's right.
Margaret Thatcher says she lives. Wait, is it Margaret Thatcher? Yes. Margaret Thatcher says, I'm in Montana, haven't seen anything. So we'll take
Wait,
it.
isn't Margaret Thatcher what? Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's
British
a
Prime
hand-
Minister.
That's right. She's here with us tonight.
She's-
right in the chat.
I thought she'd
Angry
been passed
Prepper
away.
subscriber.
Margaret Thatcher's here with us.
yeah, Margaret Thatcher's here.
Everybody loves Angry Prepper.
Hello, Mom.
8:30. Okay. All right. So what are the sources on Montana? German Ninja, the internet. That's the sources. All right. We don't have anything concrete.
I have
No,
I have a
haven't seen
tweet
anything.
from. I have a tweet. Well, if you go onto the on the Sky Vector website, which is for pilots, it shows where all the NOTAMs are. There was a NOTAM like an hour ago in Montana, and then they reopened it. They closed the airports in north central Montana, and then they just reopened it now. But what's weird is I'm seeing here a tweet from some kind of representative from Montana, Matt Rosendale. He just tweeted. He said the DoD will resume efforts to observe and ground the object in the morning. That's what he just said. He said, I'm in direct contact with NORCOM and monitoring the latest issue over Havre and the northern border. Airspace is closed due to an object that could interfere with commercial traffic. The DoD will resume efforts and ground the object in the morning. He just tweeted that at 8:23. So just right before we went on.
An hour 20 ago.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's the Matt Rosendale is his name. I just saw that right now. So
Okay. All right. So then
looks like there's something there. I don't know.
but the crazy shit is that they're waiting for daytime to do this. He said we'll ground it in the morning. Why not fucking do it now? Like the F-22, like Lou was saying, with all the fucking capabilities and the technology on it, they should be able to shoot it down at fucking night. You know, I think that's a bit.
Certainly can. Without question, they can not even. They don't even need to call an F-22 assets for that. You got so many different sort of missile batteries. I mean, to think that America doesn't have a sort of Iron Dome system is like silly. Like, someone is testing something's capabilities here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's feeling an awful lot like probing attacks, almost. Not even attacks, just constantly probing the defenses right now.
Well,
And if I had a mothership, bro, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be sending down little weird shit at you to see what you did. And if you're going to shoot at everything, maybe then we'll just send everything, or
if it's
just
super sophisticated,
peace out and leave. It's not worth the trouble.
Super sophisticated aliens wouldn't need to do that.
It's true.
No, they could just fucking read us our mind, or like I said in my last live stream, just drop fucking nude photos of Rosie O'Donnell.
I'll do it.
And Hillary Clinton, man, oof.
Ooh, game over.
Sign me up. I mean, I know that's not for everybody, but because I'm a survivor. That's why.
They're like, these simple minds will collapse under this picture of this lady, and we would just fucking, we'd all get Alzheimer's and dementia just like that, man.
It hurts to look at. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, that's why you got to prep up. You got to look at that shit now before somebody shows that to you unexpectedly.
True.
You go in having already seen it. Like, you can't just
trick me
train
like
your mind
for that kind of
so
thing.
You gotta prep up now.
That will break you. That will break you.
You gotta prep up now.
Man against the masses. Thank you for that. I'll look on IG after this. Yeah, listen, guys, if you get anything related to the situation that's going on in Montana, please send it over to me so I can take a look at it and either make fun of it or, just put it in the back of my head. And listen, guys, right now, I am so disinterested in anything else that's going to happen, because whatever's going to happen is either going to hurt or it's going to fucking shock us, it's going to kill us. That's it. There's nowhere else we can go with what's going on. I mean, like, it's so bad right now with everything. I don't care. I'm just ready to fucking, go Mad Max apocalyptic fucking, put a mohawk in my head, or in my case, I can't do that. But, I don't know, man. I'm just ready
tired of waiting, right?
Huh?
Tired of waiting. You're just tired of waiting. Like, let's do this.
Let's get it on.
Yeah, just let it go already, man. Let's fucking, let's hammer it in. Fucking dial it in so we can get our fucking preps and reenact Red Dawn if we have to. I don't know, man.
Yep.
It sounds like fun, like way more than just going to work every day. I mean, at this point, just want to go have some fun with the boys.
Yeah, you guys ready for the real adventure? The real adventure's yet to come.
Well, you know what? Listen, if this is a test run of some, how you say, new technology, I know I was looking at something. I was looking at a YouTuber, something, I'm going to fuck his name up, but I think it was like Lordy88 or Lordy80 or some shit like that. And he was talking about the cloaking technology that China has, because they stole the guy who has a company in China was at Duke University, and he stole a patent from Duke University that had to do with cloaking technology that they were going to clearly sell to the U.S. military, that I think the U.S. military also has. But interestingly enough, what Greg was saying, how this thing came over here and wasn't detected until it was too late.
Yeah, that's scary.
So it could be that, but if this is Chinese, this is almost an act of war.
Yeah.
If you're going to use cloaking device, fly into our airspace again, and telling us to go fuck ourselves, that's a problem. Erica Golden, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. So, if it is technology, it's war, right? If it's technology by China, it's war. If it's an alien attack, it's fucking war. If it's the United States fucking with us, well then, I guess it's war with the government. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But I just find it funny that this can go 2,000 different ways, and we just don't know where it's going to end up. There's a lot of YouTubers that are going to come on in the next couple of days, and they're going to pretend to act like they know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And that's the dangerous shit.
That's what I do.
Including the communist prepper.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Alien invasion has begun.
Well, the other thing to consider is like the amount of obfuscation. All warfare is based in deception. So when we say like, oh, we didn't even detect it till it got like right up to our border, like BS. but you don't tell the enemy that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, we didn't even know that that was coming. Yeah, you did. You knew it like way long ago, but you just don't let them know that. So this way they think they're like, oh, we got one up on them. We like can do this and that, but it's not true at all. So there's so many lies, and it's such a veil of secrecy over, well, just politics in general, but especially stuff like this. You can never really be sure. Is it aliens? Is it
No.
your own government? Is it a false flag? Is it a non-state actor? Is it's so, and this is the information overload
Yeah.
that I think a new world order regime relies on to make people complacent, to where they kind of just it's not that you don't care, it's that you can't. There's too many things to care about, so you got nothing for nothing. And if nothing else, I think that these incidents are a step in that direction, to just whittle everybody down to where they just don't care about anything like this anymore.
That's a good point, man. You're right. They're probably fucking gonna be. We're probably gonna be seeing these objects in the sky for the next like 2 weeks now.
Yep.
2 weeks straight. Like I said, everything and anything's on the table. We can't, you know. I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, I don't care. Like I just think having to talk about it on a live stream is fun, but like personally, I can care less, man. Just pull the fucking trigger right and let it happen. So, like,
Just nuke something, please. Like,
yeah,
stop talking about
yeah,
it.
nuke something, nuke someone. I don't care. Like, fucking let's let it go already. Shake the fucking planet. If God's in charge, grab the fucking planet like a snow globe and shake it.
And they're all going to go into outer space and hit like the mothership and take it down, and humanity goes wild, right?
Yeah, something. I mean,
Look at the Matrix when they finally beat the machines, like
Yeah.
great in Zion there.
if it is an alien invasion, I just hope they take all the hipsters. Like fucking
That's
come
it.
to New York City, take
Politicians
every
and the hipsters. We're good to go.
The politicians and hipsters are the aliens. Come on, you see that?
or the aliens. Cats Turbo 350. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you.
But man, we're definitely in uncharted territory. We've had the F-22 Raptor take out 3 different things in the last 7 days. Some over the United States, some over Canada, some over Alaska. I'd say things are getting a little spicy.
Yeah. Yeah, things are definitely getting interesting. A couple people here like the aliens are demons because the Bible explains this. Listen, that's on the table too, man. Like I said, it's all on the table. Aliens are demons, demons are aliens, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Listen, all those guys in the Bible came here from space, bro. They all came down in fire and smoke and landed their rocket ships and was called God and every other thing. Like, come on, they even got like alien ass names, man. Like God, like nobody named God on the planet Earth, is there? Not once. Nope. But
that speaking of
extraterrestrials, man, actually, if you think about it, were they from Earth? No, they came from heaven. Then they're not from this planet, makes them extraterrestrials.
Well, speaking of God, a couple of years ago, I thought this was. Oh, okay. So a guy tried to name his kid God. I mean, and that was, and that turned into a court fight. So, like, imagine trying to name your kid God, and then you have to go to court to fight this because the state he was in wouldn't allow it. And I'm like, that's yeah, I would fight that too. I would fight it too. Like, listen, I'm not very religious, but I'm like, you're not calling your kid God, dude. There's just like, there's no, there's certain names that are off limits to naming a kid, like Hitler. I think that should be off limits. And there have been people that done it. There was a guy I knew. I wanted to kick this guy in the face. You know why I wanted to kick him in the face? Because he was the ugliest man alive, and he was having a kid. And when his girlfriend was pregnant, or his wife is pregnant, and I'm like, "What are you naming your kid?" And he goes, "Perfection." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Perfection." I go, "To mean perfect, right?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm naming my kid Perfection." I'm like, "Yo, don't do that." And I said to myself, "No," I said, "Don't do that, Because what if your kid's not perfect? Well, he'll be perfect to me. I go, okay. But what if he turns out to be a rapist or a mass murderer or fucking hanging out in a bell tower shooting people? He's like, that won't happen. And then I turned to my buddy. Like, so he walks out after that conversation because I was purposely frustrating him. He walks out, and I go, yo, those two are the ugliest two fucking people on this planet. That kid's undoubtedly going to be ugly. You can't name him perfection. Certain names you cannot give kids. You know, it's almost like a jinx if you do so. You know,
For sure. Like getting somebody's name tattooed on your neck.
shit. That's another one. Dude, that's people like I love you, Samantha, and they put the name on the neck or their arm. I'm like, yo, you just jinxed your whole fucking relationship. Everybody who's ever got a tattoo of somebody else's name, who's not dead, they're gone, and then you got to get it fucking erased or whatever you people do to get tattoos removed.
Big cover up. The big cover up.
The classy thing to do is get it crossed out and get the next one tattooed underneath it. Like,
That's classy. That's not bad at all. That won't piss off the next chick, you know.
Yeah, well, she's a special kind of girl, ain't she?
OMG7. He's a demonic frequency in suicidal music. You know what, man? I have to tell you that this shit with the music and the devil worshiping, yo, it's getting out of control.
Yeah.
It's not like they're singing. Well, I don't know if they are because I don't listen to the music, but the shit that they're displaying, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like Greg was saying, it's the end times, right? Whether you're biblical or not, if you're looking at the Bible, and like Lou said, you're looking at the Bible, you're making comparisons. You're like, what the fuck? Now in the Bible, it makes it seem like it's a lot faster, from what I gather, right? But it's not. It's at the speed of humanity. So it's a lot fucking slower. It's the speed of life is so much slower. We're seeing all of this shit go down, and we're like, dude, at this point, like when I saw that whole Sam Smith or whatever the fuck his name, that gay dude on the stage with his devil, I'm like, yo, bring on the fucking aliens. And now we have two things floating in the sky that they're ready to shoot down. I'm like, yo, bring on the alien attack, man.
Bro, you jinxed us. You jinxed us.
Yeah.
I told you guys that comet was bad news, man. It was harbinger of doom. The alien ships are here.
They're like the last people that seen this was the Neanderthals. I'm like, look what happened to them.
They're all gone. They're all gone, man. 50,000 years ago. There ain't one left. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
how they normalize it, man. They normalize it.
Or I'm putting this on the table because might as fucking well. What if we are okay? So there's a doctor. I fucking forget his name. It's Dr. Joe Dispenza, some Italian last name, and he talked about, and him and Tony Robbins actually, they both talk about how your thoughts can project things in life, right? If you have negative thoughts, you have negative shit happening in your life. You have positive thoughts, positive shit happening in your life. But you got to truly believe that, right? What if all of this shit we're seeing is a frequency that we're omitting because of all the negativities and all the bad shit we're seeing, all the things we're doing to one another, the fucking hate that's going on. The left is losing their fucking mind. The right is joining the left at the line. We're all in this big fucking hate vacuum together, and it's manifesting negativity in different ways, right? Whether it's an alien attack or fucking demonic possessions or an earthquake or flood. I find it interesting that we are that could be a possibility,
Yeah, almost like willing it to happen. Huh?
Hearing you say that, I'm like, that's not a possibility. I think that's a fact. As our collective humanity, like we're all just full of hate, anger, all riled up.
Yeah, man. I think that's it's got to be it. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, thinking positive now, it's a little too late. The aliens are here. But I don't know. I mean,
we're 3 for 3 though. We're 3 for 3.
Yeah.
So keep sending tin cans and balloons. We're gonna stay messing you up. That's all.
Okay.
E.T. with your pony. Next time you want to try to come in here in a basket on a bicycle, probably
you're gonna think twice because in F-22s, bro.
F-22s, bro. Elliot's punk ass getting it too.
Yeah, everybody's. Yeah, like I said, so many things going on. His name is right. Joe Dispenza. That's the guy's. That's the doctor's name. And he does a study where he He takes people, he puts this brain fucking thing on them, and he starts having them think in certain ways. And you watch certain parts of the brain light up, and certain parts of the brain that light up, the good part, when you're thinking positively, he says he's seen people, life change, of course, over a certain time. It doesn't happen tomorrow, it's not next month. It happens over a course of 6 months to a year where things start getting better for people. I'm like, well, maybe if we all get together and kumbaya the shit out of everybody, we'll what you call it? We'll reverse what's going on. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't.
maybe the hippies weren't wrong with the drum circles, bro.
No,
Greg,
hugging trees, right? I didn't. They
Yeah,
were on to something. They were on
that's
to
it.
something. But
Greg, can you give us some insight into like the post tribulation period? Like what's the Bible talk about after like the cataclysm?
There's supposed to be 1,000 year period of peace where there's no war, no evil. Um, so yeah, that's and then after the 1,000 year period, then Satan comes back again. Then there's another battle of Armageddon, and then God casts Satan away forever. That's the way it goes, basically.
We're on in the timeline in that aspect. Where are we as humanity? Where are we at
In the biblical timeline. Yeah.
as far as like the between the tribulation, the rapture, the end times, all this? Where do you suppose we are right now?
Well, like Angryprepper was saying that in the Bible it seems to go very fast, and I think he's referring to the tribulation period, which is 7 years. So there's that 7 year period that's like really intense, but leading up to that 7 year period, it's they call it the time of sorrows, where you have this like slow build up towards the tribulation period where you see wars and rumors of wars, wars going on, earthquakes, pestilence, famine, and it just keeps getting worse and worse progressively. And it's kind of more of like a slower buildup. And then the tribulation starts with a peace treaty between Israel and all the Middle Eastern countries, and they finally make the unthinkable peace deal that everybody's ever wanted, the deal of the century, like Trump called it. And then once they make that peace deal, that kicks off the 7 years, the last 7 years, basically, which then you have halfway in the 7 year period, you have Russia attack Israel. They do a massive surprise attack on Israel. Russia, Iran, and a bunch of like countries that hate Israel, they all band together and they try to attack Israel, and then they all get wiped out. And so what's interesting is like with the way Russia is cozying up to Iran and giving Iran weapons, not just weapons, but they're actually sending their atomic scientists over to Iran to help Iran with their nuclear program. So they're really cozying up, to all those Middle Eastern countries. They have a base in Syria just miles away from the Israeli border. I mean, that's crazy. So there's a lot of stuff going on now that you could say, is kind of like lining up. So, hopefully that answered your question.
Free tribulation, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that whether you're a so-called believer or not, like I you can't ignore like these parallels. Like not only is the science and the media and like of the modern age telling you like this is happening, but you have this historical document, in my opinion, that said that this would happen.
Yeah.
You gotta call some things what they are. I suppose I'm not here. I'm like preaching, saying,
Aaron,
but I'm saying.
Aaron Seacrest, thank you for the donation. Aaron Seacrest is asking, did the government say how fast the UFO was going? They only said, at least the journal only said it was moving fast. He didn't say faster than a balloon. He didn't say what speed, but he said it was a fast-moving object. So clearly, it's not a balloon, and it's either new technology, a UFO, or fucking a bunch of midgets flying a thing. Who the fuck knows, man? Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm completely and so displaced from all of the bullshit. I'm just getting ready to fucking bug out and go in the woods somewhere and live out the rest of my years.
At this
Uh,
point, I can't like abide that like AI like Chat GPT could have like manifested this entire story and none of
Yeah.
it's real.
Willed it to happen, man. Willed it.
I didn't see no balloon. I didn't see no UFO, and all I saw was some people who claimed to have saw it, who may or may not be real either. Because the internet said they were. Like
it's yeah. Listen, that's the problem, right? Politicians lie so much. All politicians all over the world lie so much. You really can't believe what they say unless you see it for yourself. That's the fucking problem. Even when you see it for yourself, you still got to question it. And I say that with like 9/11. Being that I was there, I watched a lot of fucked up shit go down, and you still question things. You're like, well, why the fuck didn't this happen? And so even then, you got to. For example, Christy Whitman, the New Jersey governor at the time, the female New Jersey governor, she was saying that the air was clean.
Oh yeah,
Right.
sure.
So she's like, the air is clean, guys. Don't worry about it. So meanwhile, she's saying the guys in the fucking pit, the rest of us who were down there toting bodies around, we're like, there's no fucking way this is clean. Like,
Yeah.
and so I find it interesting. Like even then, she's sitting there lying, and people believed her. We watched Biden at the State of the Union, just lied out his fucking ass. He lied out the ass, and
to your face. To your face.
Right.
He doesn't care. Laughing at you. Yeah.
And we sit here and we believe him. I'm like, but how much do we believe him? Do we give him any belief at all? Or do we just tell him that fuck it, he's lying? If fucking Biden got shot tomorrow, I'd be thinking he was fucking lying. Oh, it's staged. It's false.
Yeah, no, they shot that plastic guy that was on the TV the other night.
Yeah, it'd be easier for me to believe that Joe Biden never actually even existed. They'd probably try to tell you so much.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So, guys, do me a favor. Sorry. For those that are watching, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Whatever floats your boat. But just help out with the algorithm. And also, do me a favor. You like the conversation tonight, hit up Angryprepper. That's the guy in the orange jumpsuit. And then we have the Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival and Livingston Man. Hit up both of their channels. There's two separate channels. I know that you see Lou with Mike all the time, but Livingston Man actually has its own channel. And he did a live stream last week, I guess begrudgingly, because somebody flat left him. So he did his own live stream, and it was funny as shit. So you got to check out Livingston Man's live stream from last week. It was very entertaining. I got a kick out of it. But yeah, guys, I mean, again, with all of this shit we're talking about, this is where tonight went. It went everywhere, anywhere and everywhere we can think of. I know somebody in the chat that were like, "You guys are getting weird." This is called Weird Town, fucko, and this is where we're going.
This is where we're at now.
This is where we're at. Shit's just gonna get weird because it's getting weird out there. Nip milk? No, I don't know what the fuck that means. So yeah, sorry if I didn't read a lot of the chat tonight. I'm talking to my
Lucky Dame says Livingston Man is AI. It's true. He's the Russian bot.
Actual Russian android.
Yeah, I got my own Russian bot.
Like a second generation. He got me at an Army Navy store.
Just joined. All right, good. So a couple people said they followed a couple of you guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, where are we at? We're at the hour mark. Yeah, I'm gonna go off the air. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys joining me at the very last minute. I know you guys didn't have to. I thought it was definitely a good time because we were just shooting the shit about nothing or everything or the end of the world. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But yeah. Again, guys, do me a favor. Livingston Man and Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, they have two separate channels. Find their channels. It should be in the chat, if you will, and click their link and subscribe to both of their channel. And then there's Angryprepper as well, another good channel. Do me a favor, head over to this channel, like and subscribe to that as well. Again, if I do any more of these, it'll be with these three. I'm going to try to get back the interviews. but I just feel like every time I do an interview, I get suckered with some fucking assholes that I regret, you know? And that's the problem. I like it's such a kick in the dick, man. You know, you interview the guy, and like halfway through the interview, I'm saying to myself, this guy's a dick. And I'm interviewing him. Fuck, you know, and that's where you go. Bed-Stuy. No Angry Truth tonight. This was a last minute deal. But you know, there'll probably be some more last minutes here and there, but not often. But anyway, other than that, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat or on YouTube universe, thank you for joining me tonight as well. And I will catch you guys, I think, next Tuesday. I'm not sure yet. But other than that, guys, good night.